Welcome to Leaseweb Tech Talk, the podcast exploring tech landscape, cloud hosting, and IT infrastructure. Whether you're a professional or new to tech, Leaseweb Tech Talk got you covered. Join us for latest trend, business cases, insightful interviews, and useful tips. Welcome to Leaseweb Tech Talk. I'm your host, Pamily. Today, I'm joined by Shanook, the product manager and multi-CDN expert here at Leaseweb. Welcome back, Shanook. How are you?
Yeah, I'm great. Thank you. Thank you for having me again.
Oh, thank you so much. Are you excited?
I'm very excited. Always.
So for the listeners, today we're going to speak about the market trends of CDN. So let's start with the bigger picture, Shanook. What is the current state of the CDN market out there, and how would you describe that?
So you see every day, customers want their content immediately available to them.
Yep.
And also with a fast delivery, they have content on their mobile phones, which they use all day. They have content on their smartwatches. They have content on their laptop, on TV screens everywhere around you. It's become so digital. So fast content delivery and secure content delivery is becoming so important for end users. What we see is that, in the market, they were talking about 4K, 8K video resolution. We don't think that will be picked up because that is simply too expensive to deliver that type of high resolution video. Still, people want high performance, high quality video or high quality content, but it still also needs to be at an affordable price.
Yeah, exactly. That sounds great. So Shanook, you have mentioned about the edge computing. That seems like the hottest topic out there. So what is it and how does it matter?
Well, edge computing helps to bring processing power closer to the end user. So traditionally, CDNs had to travel long distances from the origin to different data centers and then to the locations of the end users. With edge computing or edge nodes on these specific locations like POPs, they can bring the processing power and the storage closer to the user, which gives you an optimal performance delivery, higher speed, and therefore better quality to your end user.
Does it mean that it is expensive?
It's a development technology,
okay.
And it is not necessarily expensive. It just brings you better performance and better content quality.
And also better continuity for the business.
Exactly, because as we discussed in earlier podcast, if your content is not delivered fast to the end user, they are moving away from your business and you lose business.
Exactly. Shanook, security is a big topic and it's always a top of mind for businesses. What is the latest development and latest feature in the side of the security?
So what we see is an increased demand of customers asking for a WAF security implemented within the CDN. So that stands for Web Application Firewall, and it protects you against level 7 DDoS attacks. So that is a development that we see currently in the market. But security becomes more and more important for customers because they are more exposed to security threats. So we see an advanced development in API security as more businesses rely on API integration. We see advanced development in TLS certification and SQL injections type of security features.
Okay, you mentioned about WAF, and so is it already built within the multi-CDN of the CDN provider, or the user have to integrate it themselves?
So nowadays it's an add-on feature with most CDN providers, and you can use it in front of your origin server. So it's an extra layer of protection. So that also depends on the type of business, because adding more layers of security also has influence on your performance and the latency. It is very low, but if you need ultra fast latency, it does. Every time your content needs to be filtered through these layers of security, it does affect your performance a bit.
Oh, that's great to know, Shanook.
Yes.
So Shanook, one of the trending topic is AI and automation. So how artificial intelligence is playing a role for CDN?
So AI can really help your CDN processes get smarter and better automated, because a lot of the older CDN processes relied on manual work or manual processes. So what AI helps you with is smarter algorithms to predict traffic spikes or to predict the optimized route for your traffic distribution, basically, based on historical data, but also based on real life user traffic data. So that can really help you distribute your traffic smarter and better, so that you have the best optimal routes, highest performance, highest quality for your end users.
Yeah, when you talk about optimal route, the only thing I can think about a Google map, which gives you the fastest route to reach to your destination with the best algorithm. And I'm guessing it's pretty much the same.
Well, you need data in order to analyze what the best route is for you. And with that data, the CDN can gives you the best route. Yeah. So if the data is manual, then you can imagine that it's not as optimized as something that is an automatic algorithm based on real-time data, which is also something that Google Maps is doing indeed.
Okay, that's perfect. Yeah. That's actually lovely to know how it sort of also reflects to our daily life.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's great. It's great to hear all about this trends, AI, everything like that. So let's look ahead of time. So how do you see, or how do you predict the market for next 5 years, Shanook?
Well, I really see that edge computing becomes more and more developed. It will be more powerful. Also, AI will help to further optimize and make processes even more efficient and CDNs smarter and more efficient. So I think that's a huge benefit for the CDN industry, and also for the end users benefiting from fast content delivery and smarter content delivery.
I definitely agree, because you mentioned a lot about AI, and how you also mentioned in your chat now that it's all about content. Content is getting a big part of our lives. So CDN is going to take a pick on that.
And we should not forget that security enhancement will always exist, because the more content will be spread, the more security threats will have an issue, of course. So that's always something that needs to keep evolving. Having integrated security, having advanced security, that's something that will always be a trend.
Exactly. So we have been to IBC 2024 here in Amsterdam, and we have asked various CDN providers what's their take on market trend for 5 years, or the market trend in general. So let's look into that.
Yeah, great. So Laura, what do you see as the key trends when it comes to a CDN in the market?
So one that's probably most notable at the moment is we're seeing a lot of vendor consolidation. There are a number of small CDNs that have gone out of business. And this has been, interesting, because as sort of one of the existing CDNs, we have customers that are looking to migrate, and some of them are looking to migrate in a great hurry. So that's obviously been a trend. I think this is a normal trend in any industry, that you see consolidation and expansion come in waves. So that's one. The second thing is that no CDN wants to be seen as a point solution, right? Everybody wants to expand out and offer a full platform. For us, particularly at Fastly, we think that's particularly important. So we have expanded into security offerings and edge compute, which is a really interesting one. When you are delivering the content at the edge, it's also great if you can deliver the interactive experience at the edge, and so on. So there's, I think, trends like that where folks are really expanding out into other areas. And part of that is so that they don't get caught up in the consolidation. I think that point solutions are probably somewhat doomed in the current environment.
Thank you so much.
All right.
So Lauren, I also want to understand, what are the key market trends you are seeing in the market at the moment for CDN?
I would say that here at CD Network, we see like 5 big trends. First of all is to bring intelligence at the edge. So by having edge computing directly at the edge, it will provide more performances and more intelligence by running the application directly at the edge. Second thing, I would say that adding some specific solution dedicated to CDN is definitely key, such as image processing solution to optimize the quality of the image according to the end user browser, if he's using a mobile or a desktop, creating some virtual waiting room in order to avoid massive traffic to the website, and to make sure that each user will get a good experience. Advanced CDN security protection to avoid any downtime or any security issues. And then also some AI features in order to as an example for a video or streaming broadcaster, in order to reduce the bandwidth cost and bandwidth usage, but by keeping the same image or video quality, using some AI model to optimize the quality while reducing the image size. Third point would be advanced security solution to make sure that application and website remain secure. Fourth point would be AI-driven solution. So in order to leverage this kind of technology to optimize the content while reducing the file size to reduce the cost. So let's say you have a large video, you can use AI solution to automatically optimize the quality of the image while reducing the size. And the last point will be the real-time data monitoring. We see it as a key point for customers to get real-time data and insight regarding the impact of the CDN performances and to see how the users are interacting with their web application.
Thank you, Lauren, for your time. For our audience. Secondly, we also want to understand what are the key market trends you're observing in terms of CDN at the moment.
Obviously, the key trend that has been for many times has been the move to a multi-CDN environment. And then you have a lot of the content providers now are moving to ad-supported streaming and subscription-based streaming. We've also got a lot of the trends to try to monetize content as much as possible. There's a lot now in terms of AI and machine learning being underpinning a lot of the decision making within the CDN. And it's a case of how can the content providers really make use of that additional information that they've got, and how are the CDNs using that to deliver a better quality of experience through to the end customers on there. And so really customization, personalization, and monetization, I'd say, are the three key things there. And then one of the challenges which across the whole ecosystem is the sustainability side. And we're seeing that coming in more with a lot of the projects that we're doing within France and Italy and the UK to look at, more sustainable live streaming moving across the industry.
Thank you so much. I also wanted to understand what are the key market trends you guys are seeing in terms of CDN at the moment.
First of all, I would say the traffic grows massively during the last 4 or 5 years. Right? That's the first step. The complexity of the type of content that we deliver now is far increased a lot. Right? We used to just at the beginning of the CDN market was just caching static object. Right? Now this is extremely sophisticated strategy because you've got, of course, still the static content is still there, but you've got a lot of dynamic content. So what is dynamic, we accelerate it, right? And of course, we put that in a very secure environment.
I would say CDN is not enough anymore. So you need CDN with other stuff. You need CDN with security. You need CDN with AI. You need fast edge. You need so speed is definitely something that we see, and the content distribution, being more and more video oriented is a fact. And it will be more and more, that's for sure. But now you must provide a CDN that is protected. We are talking about government, we are talking about banks, finance, and you cannot just deliver data, you have to protect it. So we are talking about WAP, DDoS, bot protection, API protection that are aimed into the CDN as one pricing, for example, one bundle. AI. So you want a CDN that is evolving as quickly as the threat. So where it's super dynamic, it's super fast, and we are talking about milliseconds and not about seconds as before with OTT. Yeah. And because we have 2 minutes, that's it.
Thank you so much.
It's so nice to see their take on how the market is growing and evolving. And I think they're absolutely right. So I'm very happy that we got their input to see how the CDN business is going to evolve. Because I do think it is something that companies will rely on even more in the future.
Oh, that's lovely. We are all on the same page on that. Seems like on the trend, AI, edge computing, and automation. Thank you, Shanook, for sharing your insights. It was lovely speaking about the market trend and the innovation. And to our listeners, thank you so much for tuning in to our today's episode.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me, Pamily. It was great.
Stay tuned for our next episode where we are going to speak about customer challenges that we have seen here at Leaseweb. We hope you found this episode insightful. For more content, like, share, and subscribe. You can also subscribe to our newsletter at leaseweb.com/newsletter.